In Feminist Genealogies, Alexander and Mohanty offer profound insights into the intersections of colonial legacies, nationalism, and feminism. They highlight the significance of education in challenging colonial legacies and promoting self-determination. They both identify as belonging to specific racial and cultural backgrounds, shaped by the experiences of colonialism and nationalism. Moving to the U.S. in the 1980s allowed them to understand themselves as migrants and foreigners, leading to a critical reflection on their positionalities in American society. Their politics and knowledge are deeply influenced by the desire to build a feminism that transcends colonial legacies and liberal pluralism, aiming towards democratic futures. The authors emphasize the importance of understanding recolonization, which involves attempts by states and global economic interests to undermine autonomy and self-determination on psychological, sexual, and material levels. They argue that the analysis of capitalist social relations and the role of the state is crucial, especially given the state's central role in managing global crises. Through policies like structural adjustment programs. Alexander's work on the Bahamas illustrates the reworkings of colonial legacies in contemporary times. She analyzes how the Black nationalist government's actions in the 1990s, though aiming for independence, still bore colonial resonances. Women's political mobilization was pivotal in gaining independence, but the resulting legislation had contradictory implications. While supposedly designed to protect women and children, it also reenacted patriarchal power, criminalized lesbian sexuality, and marginalized certain groups like prostitutes, sodomites, and those with HIV. Heng's essay on feminism and nationalism in Singapore explores the complex relationship between the two. While women play a role in anchoring the national imaginary, certain women, like prostitutes and lesbians, are excluded from the nation's script. The construction of the nation often involves legitimizing heterosexuality and the traditional nuclear family, leading to the exclusion of non-conforming individuals. Throughout their work, Alexander and Mohanty combine rigorous theoretical analysis with an emphasis on praxis, highlighting the importance of connecting scholarship with collective action. Their approach draws from various perspectives, including feminist, post-structuralist, and post-colonial viewpoints, to address issues like the production of selves, disciplining of women's bodies, and the conflation of heterosexuality and citizenship. In this exemplary piece by Honor Ford Smith, she discusses the Jamaican Women's Theatre and Educational Community Project, Sistren, of which she was the artistic director for many years. The collective faced challenges when they became recipients of international funding, as they had to navigate the complex class relations that were exacerbated by the funding agencies. The colonial legacies played a part in this process, as the middle class and working class women in the collective interpreted their roles through stereotypes of each other. The collection emphasizes the centrality of Third World women, a category that encompasses women from the geographical Third World and immigrant and indigenous women of color in Western countries. The book critiques women's studies programs in the U.S. for failing to challenge the dominance of whiteness and appropriating or erasing insights from women of color. It rejects the notion that white Western feminism is the most advanced form of feminist thinking and highlights the importance of different feminist genealogies. Chandra Talpade Mohanty, for instance, focuses on Third World women as workers and producers, and explores how global capitalism exploits gender and racial ideologies to create new forms of women's work that are essential for capital accumulation. Ella Shohid examines post-Third Worldist cultural production, which critiques anti-colonial nationalism and Eurocentric feminism, challenging the dominant narrative that starts in the West. She emphasizes the exploration of doubt and crisis in contemporary filmmaking and the complex relation between personal and public histories. Ananya Bhattacharjee's essay on domestic violence against South Asian women in New York challenges notions of public and private in the context of migrant experiences and unsafe public spaces. Gloria Wecker's essay on Afro-Surinamese women presents a layered conception of subjectivity rooted in grammatical West African principles, highlighting subjectivity as a dynamic and ever-moving sequence. Structural adjustment policies are highlighted as factors that undermine anti-colonial resistance and create difficulties for women in enacting agency and empowerment. The themes explored in this book, such as kaleidoscopic subjectivities, privatized nations, and the role of Third World women workers in a global system focused on shaping the citizen consumer, call for a fundamental rethinking of existing analytical frameworks. The insights from Black women and women of color cannot simply be added on to established perspectives. Instead, they require a reshaping of how we think about race, gender, and power. Race thinking, like gendered thinking, necessitates the creation of new maps and cartographies that are global in scope. The book effectively combines these analytical categories to reveal how power operates as a complex, globally mediated, and locally situated force. It emphasizes the significance of class, capitalist relations, and the state, which have sometimes been neglected in recent scholarship. However, this emphasis does not come at the expense of new insights into subjectivities, bodies, sexualities, and representation.